A comment that I hear an awful lot in the work that I'm doing is somebody will write to me and say, I've met somebody and it's an amazing connection. It's like nothing I've ever felt before. Um, and so the human side of it, the human part of the brain, has a belief that they must be a soulmate, or they must be something that's got to develop. It must be somebody that has to be in my life. The soul is resonating with the energy of the other soul. So, you know how you have an aura around you. Your aura is like a radar. You know, it's a frequency that is around you, and it is made up of all the experiences that you've been through. So, if you had a really long time of grieving, that energy is contained in your aura. If you had addictions, that energy is contained in your aura. If you lost a parent when you were young, you were brought up, you virtually brought yourself up on your own, you didn't have parental guidance, that kind of existence is in your aura. If you grew up in a huge family with lots and lots of people around you, they're all still around you, massive family, you rely on your family, that is around you. It's in your existence, and all the experiences that you have and the emotions that go with all those experiences is contained in your aura, which you are radiating out outwardly. And everybody's doing it. Everyone on this earth is doing it. So when you come into contact with people, if they have an experience that resonates with you, with your experience, it's like a beacon, it's like a magnet. It just draws you in, because your soul level knows what it feels like. And it might not be the same circumstances. The actual story that unfolded might be different, but the feeling is the same. If you ever felt like a really strong feeling of abandonment, no matter what the circumstances that led to that, somebody else who's also experienced abandonment will feel your energy. And you just are like magnets to each other. You could be in a room with 100 people and you'll just be directed to somebody who has a very similar experience to you. And also our soul knows when there's a benefit, you know, like when they can learn something from another soul. Again, it's a magnetic attraction. So this happens to me a lot. Like for years, if I'd go to when my kids were little and I'd go to a birthday party and I'd meeting new mums, I'd never ever met them before. Just one or two of them would just make a beeline to me, and just say like, "What do you do?" And then if I say, "Oh well, I do clairvoyant work," the next minute they're unloading all their problems. And they feel so much better. It's not that they wanted advice right there and then, it's just that they felt safe unloading onto me, because I'm not going to do anything with that information, and it's just the way to unload it. You could just have a person walk into a bar and then, you know, into a public place, and other people that are sitting there dining can look at them and read something about their energy, like, what are they here for? You know, is that somebody that's single, that's looking for a good time or a long time? You can pick up sexual energy with somebody else, but not pick up that they want something permanent. It's just, you can look at another person and think they just want a good time. And that person might not be feeling that. That person might be thinking, I want a committed relationship. I don't want somebody to use me. But the energy that's coming out of you is saying, I just want a good time. There's something deeper that you haven't addressed within yourself, where you actually really don't want a permanent relationship. Your human self thinks it does. This is the difference between what the human brain is thinking all the time, what it thinks it needs, and what your actual soul is radiating out of you. It can be very, very different. So yeah, that's why we have these really, really strong connections. Like, oh, I've never felt this before. If somebody's in a relationship with someone, if they're married, they're in a relationship with somebody and they're not happy in that relationship, they've been together for over 13 years. It's got into a pattern. It's a bit of a rut. They do their thing, you do your thing. You come together. You don't communicate a great deal. You still do things together, but there's no excitement there. There's no spontaneity. There's no communication. There's no putting effort into one another, and it's losing its feeling. So you've got this desire. There's this desire in you, like, I just want to feel excitement. I want to feel like I'm special, you know. You want that. And then you go to work and there's somebody else in the workplace who's in exactly the same situation as you. They're in a marriage. They are feeling the same as you. You come together and that feeling, that want that you want to feel, that they want to feel, it's like a magnet. And you're drawn to one another because there is something that you feel you can get from them that you want to feel. And they're feeling exactly the same way. Now, it might not be that you're meant to be, you know, you might not meant to be having an affair, or you might not meant to leave your partners for them. It's just an understanding of, this is how I'm feeling, and they're feeling the same way. It doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. This is where the human brain part of it starts coming up with all these, oh, I've never felt like this before. Maybe I should leave my partner and run after that other person that's giving me this feeling. Rather than just sitting there saying, I understand that you're feeling the same way as me, but we don't actually have to take any action. We don't have to do anything about it. Just be in the feeling. And you know with energy, you could walk into a room, there could be, say there's 3 people sitting in a room, and you walk in there and it's quiet. But you can tell what happened just before you got into that room. You can tell whether they were gossiping. You can tell whether they were laughing. You can tell whether they were doing nothing. You can tell if somebody's angry, or you can tell if someone's sad without them saying a word, because your energy is magnetized to their energy. We're always feeling other people's energy. So you just know, you walk into a room and you're like, I reckon they were all just talking about me before I came in here, or I reckon they were all laughing and I'm out of the joke. You can just feel the energy. It's how we communicate with one another. But what happens is we feel the energy, but then the mind uses that feeling and turns it into a story. The mind wants to make up a story around the feeling, rather than just saying, this is what I feel in their presence. I feel this energy, but I don't need to make up a story that goes with it. And the whole story of, I think I'm with my soulmate and I found the love of my life. Yeah, you found a match. You can find a match for yourself, but it doesn't ever have to just be one person. You can have multiple connections with souls depending on what you need at the time. We're always looking for what we need to feel, you know, like if I need to feel like I need lots of attention and I need to have somebody smother me, I will find somebody that will do that. If I need independence, friend with benefits, I'll find somebody that fills that void. It's always a feeling that you need to fulfill, and they are offering it, or they need to feel it as well. That's what the connection is. So yeah, it's something I get a lot. Like, people read so much into it. They think, oh my God, I've just felt something I've never felt before. I need to do something about it. It's just because they are feeling exactly the same way. And it's just that your souls are a comfort to one another because you're both feeling the same thing.